Is one day enough to learn what it means to live like an Aussie? Is one day really enough to want a new life for yourself? Well, I say depends on where you spend that day. Everybody knows Sydney. But what does actually living the Australian dream here look like? I didn't quite get it until I came to Manly. It was our second to last day in Sydney, and we decided to do what Sydney-siders do on a Sunday. Go to the beach, of course. We caught a ferry to Circular Quay. Somewhere along the way, Valera even contemplated a career change. From DevOps engineer to a ferry captain.
Yeah.
And those ferries, one of Sydney's best perks, honestly.
I love Sydney for being able to do this and not sweat. I just love Sydney.
No matter how many times we do this, it still feels special. Meanwhile, the city itself was absolute chaos. Road closures, crowds, queues everywhere, all because of Sydney Marathon. So escaping the CBD by boat felt like the perfect idea. Once we made it to the Manly ferry, that commute was an adventure in itself, but also a perfect prelude to what awaited on the other side. At about 10:30 a.m., we finally docked at Manly Wharf with weary eyes, tousled hair, wind withered, and sea salted. In other words, perfectly seasoned to step foot on the land of the Gayamagal people. Just 100 meters from the bustling docks, and it got so much quieter and less intense. A striking contrast to the busy city center we left behind just some 30 minutes ago. The nearest cafe, a subtle reminder of the convict past, looked really inviting, but we were full and locked in on a target, the beach. And just so that we're clear, we are not beach people at all. We don't go to the beach. We don't suntan. We don't even sit by the pool. Maybe it's because we live in Singapore with thousands of oil tankers on the horizon. Or because we are grumpy Russians who haven't got a sunny bone in our bodies. Or maybe it's plain old self-consciousness. Take your pick. The point is, this wasn't a routine Sunday outing for us. And for a moment there, Valera even thought us coming might have been a fatal mistake.
Привет.
Здрасте. Можно я поснимаю?
Снимай. Ты уже снимаешь. Мы ведем наш репортаж
Валера.
с нашей увиливающей камерой.
At first, Manly seems obvious. A postcard of Australian lifestyle with all its health benefits. Surfers with salty hair, barefoot people, everyone outside and moving. But that's just the surface. The longer we stayed, the more it clicked and made deeper sense. If Manly has a heart, it's the ocean, of course, but not in this superficial beach town way. It has a kind of calm gravitas that's just there. And surfing is a form of reverence. But it wasn't always like that. In fact, at some point, daylight ocean bathing was banned here. But in 1903, after a rebellious newspaper campaign, Manly led Australia to the bathing revolution, and later became the first beach on the continent to employ a professional lifeguard. They didn't stop at that, though. In 1964, Manly hosted the very first World Surfing Championship. Naturally, 2 Australians won. So when parents at Manly take their kids for their first surf lesson, show them how to strap in and pedal out, when they teach those kids patience and respect and humility and getting up every time they fall. their home. Even if you don't surf, life here still revolves around water. Coastal walks are designed for observing the power of the ocean. The waves, the surfers, and from May to November, even the whales. Also on the seaside smorgasbord, there's swimming, snorkeling, and diving. Because Shelly Beach is the gateway to the Cabbage Tree Bay Aquatic Reserve, with kelp forests, sand flats, corals, and over 500 marine species. When Captain Arthur Phillip first came here in 1788, he was, according to his own journals, really impressed by the confidence and manly behavior of the Kanalgal and Kaimai clans he met at the bay. And that's how Manly Cove got its name. 2 years later, Captain Phillip was also speared here, in a very manly fashion, no doubt. But my point is that wild spirit is still alive, and there's more to it now, because the people here surely know how to live life. I loved observing locals in their element, the way they wear bikinis, wetsuits, and leggings like a second skin. Walk barefoot, because it's literally the most natural thing ever. Build castles in the sand, climb rocks, sunbathe next to cormorants, or play frisbee with dogs in the ocean rock pools. I swear it made me want a house just so that I could have a dog. Just look at that fella. If good boys die and go to heaven, I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like. At Manly, all the little things felt genuine and wholesome. The bandicoot statues and cheeky bruises. By the way, that's what reserve rangers in Queensland taught us to call whole turkeys. Even the touristy trinkets sold at the little shops were cute. Or I just fell under the spell too easily. But once again, that ease took time. Back in the day, Manly was an isolated place. Getting here meant a 70-mile trip, and there weren't many takers, whether for a visit or a life. Pretty hard to imagine that now, isn't it? It all changed in the 1850s, when Henry Gilbert Smith saw Manly as the future Brighton of the South Pacific and pushed for hotels, shops, and the most crucial thing, a regular ferry service. Today, Manly is a lifestyle litmus test. I couldn't help but picture what my own life might look like here. That iconic strip of posh houses on Bower. How would living in one feel? Would I have kids and teach them how to surf? Or become part of this human colony on the rocks? Would I get a dog or a second cat? Would I be more at ease in my own skin? And most importantly, would I learn to go with the flow and the swell instead of scheduling joyful later? This place gives you an ego check, but it also gives you perspective and ideas. There's an old line about Manly being only 7 miles from Sydney and 1,000 miles from Quay. But no ad could ever sell what actually being here does for you, or at least did for me. Even if just for a couple of hours, but I stopped overthinking everything. Except for one thing. How on earth could I forget my drone to a place like this? So, is one day really enough to learn what it means to live like an Aussie? Of course not. But Manly certainly gives you clues. I met this Polish girl at the beach. She told me she was much happier here than she had ever been back home. She also told me that Manly was not an easy place to put down roots. But a girl can dream, right?